gorgeous. If you have a Netflix subscription, or if you are any way interested in pop culture, you have seen K-pop Demon Hunters. I got some recommendations to analyse the song Golden from the movie, but I couldn't wait, to be honest. As soon as I saw it come up on my Netflix, I was like, it was too strong, and I have no regrets. The first thing I thought when I saw that movie was, this is such a brilliantly composed pop song, and the vocal performance is wildly stretchy and brilliant. I would love to hear it live. So the time is nigh, my fairy voice children. Is this vocal performance humanly possible?
Performing their #1 hit song, Golden. Once again, EJAE, Audrey, Nuna, and Ami from K-pop Demon Hunter.
I don't know if he introduces everyone that performs on this show with so much enthusiasm, but I think he is genuinely excited to watch this live. There's an energy in the audience like,
Demon Hunter!
The hype is real! It's so beautiful, isn't it?
It's okay. Given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be.
Whoa! It's not in the original key. It is... how does it go? Yeah, it's 2 semitones lower. It's really not a lot. It's not a drastic thing at all. It still means that those really high belty notes are going to be really high and belty. But it also means that those really low notes that are in this song are going to be arguably more impressive. The range in this song is so extensive. If you pull it off and sing it well in any key, you've done something very remarkable. They look exactly like the cartoon characters. I thought those lyrics were on a Tuesday.
Now I'm shining like I'm gonna be. We dreaming hard, we came so far, now I believe. We're going up, it's our moment. You look at me, we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Up, and our voices. You're the gift us so open. Gonna be golden.
Nice. Nice.
So long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding. Shining like I'm born to be, 'cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're going.
That was amazing. The thing is, having a low voice is amazing in itself, right? But taking it up so quickly requires so many different changes in breath pressure for the singer and so much coordination, chaos to contend with, and she just did that so gracefully. So you've got, no more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm gonna be. But when you go up, ow, why do I keep hitting myself? When you go up to the like I'm gonna be, you've already had to do one shift, because that first bit is so slack, the vocal folds are so floppy, which is why you're getting this breathy quality come through, because they're loose.
No more hiding, I'll be shining.
The vocal folds are just like this general slacky breathiness. If you force them to close in a live situation, like I'm gonna be, you can get a little bit of a choked sound. Everything about her posture and even the quality of the note is, she didn't force into it.
Like I'm born to be.
And then we step up again.
'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're gonna.
And this is where it really counts. She's filled her body up and she's
'Cause we
started to lower that pressure before she sings that 'cause. You can physically see it. 'Cause we are hunters. This whole on top of the thing is even with her eyes. She's looking down on the note as she steps in. At the start of the phrase is the most important thing. Once she's in and she knows that she's safe, she's set that pressure just the way that she needs it. Hunter's voice is strong and she knows that she's at total liberty to move now because she's entered the phrase in a stable way. All of her breath pressure is nice and low. She's got a lovely strong core going on in there as well to keep that breath pressure controlled. Yes, still so much about breath pressure, honestly. Because if you were to start that phrase with no kind of foundation of strength and breath control, you waste all of the breath on the first part of the phrase because it's just like an open floodgate of breathy mayhem. 'Cause we are hunters, voices strong and you've already it. You've got no reserves left, and that's why it is so important not to keep your breath up here and to let it fall down. Taking a deep breath in singing is about dropping your internal organs to make space for your lungs. So it looks like this. This is my normal regular body. This is my body when I drop my organs. See, it really is like a downwards motion. It doesn't just come out and big like a big old dome. It does drop. So all of the organs are popped down into the basement of the torso. I just made that up. We now have room to expand the lungs inside the rib cage and the diaphragm can work properly. Your ribs are mostly in your back, so you really have to be aware of back expansion while you're doing this as well. So as the belly comes down to make room, the back and the sides inflate. And the way that you take the air in means everything, because if you take it in with a sucked in belly like this, it's just gonna come straight out again. The vowels are everything. If you use random vowels, you must accept that you will have random control over your voice. And that is a lot of why people can sometimes say that their voice seems unreliable and you have good voice days and bad voice days. You might have said your vowels differently one day to the next. The vowel that you choose literally shapes your instrument, meaning that it is either more efficient or less efficient. So if I use wide vowels like this and I go, we are hunters, voices strong and I know I believe. Oh. It's so tight inside the vocal tract, it's squeezed. Like imagine your vocal tract is like a nice hose. You squeeze the hose and everything's stuck, right? So you need to find a perfect balance when you sing high notes especially, of having enough bigness in the mouth so that the voice can resonate and sound really open, but also not so wide to the point where you squish the tubes inside. You would figure out a way to keep it as wide as you can to make sure that you've got a lovely big resonance of those high notes, but also as narrow as you can to make sure that the vocal tract doesn't squish. All right, so it's the difference between like ah and ah. So what we can see that she's doing here when she goes up for believe is a lifting of the zygomatic musculature, which is around the cheekbone area. And if you say the word believe now in these two different positions, you'll feel and hear the difference. I believe. It feels so much bigger and resonant and easier because the larynx isn't lifted and squeezed and pinched, and it's also not too depressed and low because of the lift in this zygoma. The amount of pressure that she must have felt, because everyone and their nan's dog has seen this movie. And I feel like 90% of the discussion of this movie is the songs are so hard to sing. How is this possible? Blah, blah, blah. And then here she is, poor woman, doing it live for the first time. The pressure must have been absolutely immense. Because this is really live. She is really singing. There is like effects on it and all that kind of thing, but she is doing this. If her voice went tits up, you would know. So it's an incredible feat of not only skill, but also courage and bravery. Daphne, what is it? Come here, baby. Let's go back so you can hear the chorus.
strong, and I know I
little up, up, up section is very demonstrative of her brilliance as well. It's almost as if she's got like strings here to give her that extra lift and support. Completely smooth and faultless. And this would have undoubtedly have been extensively trained. And we know that because her voice can go very, very low. So there's no way that if you have long vocal folds to vibrate together so slacky the way that they can to get that low note, that this high note being mixed and belted the way that it is, it's not just going to fall out of the sky. You need to train that coordination, so yeah. They're so cute, oh my god. For like a 13-year-old girl. That was so perfect. Oh. Ah! That's so cute. And they're doing like the personalities of the cartoon characters as well, like the more grumpy one and the cute little one and... Oh my god.
What? Come on, right there! EJAE! Audrey Nuna!
That was really outstanding. The breath that she did after that, oh my god, imagine the relief.
Hello gorgeous. As you might have noticed, the audio quality in this video is really bad because my mic didn't work, and therefore when I tried to demonstrate these high sections, it sounded like... So I'm going to do my demonstrations in a much more professional way in my studio. At least you'll be able to hear from the mic. Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're going up, 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 it's our moment. You know, together we're glowing, gonna be golden. Oh, up, up, up with our voices, oh, now's our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're bound to be. Not gonna rush to sing that again anytime soon. It's the larynx stretcher. You gotta do these drills before you attempt this chorus. Hey! You wanna get that ugliness. Hey! Up, 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 it's our moment. That's the sound you're looking for, not this. Hey! Because then you're gonna get who we're bound to be. And actually, that's probably the technique that she uses in the original, called like a thin dominant mixed voice. But if you drop it down to this key, you should be able to use more engagement as long as you do those heys. Get your breath support nice and pumped up, very shrill. Hey! And you should know if you have it, if when you run down, it's connected to your speaking voice. Hey! Hey! And you're back to cozy land. I need a cup of tea.
I'm a nerd, right? So I'm in a lot of nerd groups, specifically nerd groups about singing. I've read many times, more than 10 times on said groups, that this song is just computer singing. There's no way that this is literally possible. When students come to me to ask if we can learn to sing it, I say no. Well, Susan, that's just not true. I think a lot of the skepticism comes from people with classical backgrounds, because if you're an alto, if you've been diagnosed with alto syndrome, then you can't sing this strong, this high, because that's just not what we get. Our knowledge of the human voice and the way that we can train it and what's safe and what isn't, and the pedagogy has come along so fast, so quickly. So you really need to stay open-minded for people like this, because they do exist. You can sing over a humongous range. This song is very hard to sing, obviously, but it's hard not as much physically even as it is mentally. You have to shift. When you go up to those high notes, you can't just be like, here we go, here we're bound to be, and just expect it to come out. It's not going to work like that. You have to plan the way that you're going to allow your vocal folds to come together, what kind of thickness they're going to be and what kind of breath pressure you're going to be to sit in a nice, comfortable, thinned out tone. up there. Thank you so much for watching, for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you want to check out any of the music that I make as well, you can look in the description. My name is lolliwren and this is Daphne, who doesn't make music, but she makes people's day. If we're hanging out together at the premiere, then a ginormous premiere hug for you. Thank you so much for coming. And if you're here at any other time, a giant hug for you. I hope you have the wonderfulest day, and I will look forward very much to seeing you next time. Love you bunches, bye!